round here from both teams.
Well, TSM were on top of it from start to finish. Nicely done there by Fair, just making it a little bit more difficult for TSM in the next round. The only reason that you can think about it for Kerrigan is just like he's like, okay, we need guarantee. Like we need 100% to know where they're playing from right now. With only 30 seconds left, and he sacks himself. Maybe he thinks, okay, if I can just spot a couple of people, boom, we'll know exactly what they're doing, right? Or it's just going to be confirmation.
So the reason why it's a little bit silly is because his position is so strong either way. If they push B, then he obviously comes out behind. And yet they go and peak anyway and lose 2 members. That's now going to be a tied scoreline against 6-6, but the economy on the Danish side is going to be pretty much wrecked at this point here. I'm very impressed by Luminosity. I mean, yeah, I guess generally not a lot of people thought they could do a lot in this tournament coming into it. Now they lost their own map and they go on to sort of one of the home maps for TSM, and they still put up a really big fight.
Yeah, one hell of a fight. This is scary now for TSM. I think they're going to start getting pretty worried here, just because this is what they wanted to avoid. They don't want Luminosity getting confident. Their own words, you know, they're a momentum team, momentum-based. So if they get a strong start or are able to start getting something going for themselves, that's when they get really dangerous. Boom, though. dupreeh just peeks forward, takes out Fair.
With the one saved AWP. Luminosity, I mean, that, again, now that was a slightly aggressive style here by the Restrooms. Now they can afford to fall back, and this is something I wish they'd have been doing a lot earlier, trying to play this way. It's a bit more difficult when you only have pistols, basically. So, yeah, if they have rifles and play like that, I think that could pay off a lot more for TSM.
Let's see, Bomb is making its way over here, so TSM, they are rotating over. They should be in position to deal with this. I mean, Taco with that MP7 just doing big damage to Device, dropping him half. dupreeh's got overhead, though. He's going to be over at the top. Looking for that initial shot, but Fallen's there, and dupreeh misses the flick, so no joy, and it really does look like Luminosity are going to be able to lock this down, although Device is somehow snuck onto the site itself.
It's just where you wish you had a kit or something. You can just sneak in and defuse that bomb. AWP is not going to be saved, and Luminosity double kill there for 2 of the players, and that's going to be a round for them. Now they actually take the lead at 6-7, and I gotta wonder, what's the economy like here for the TSM team? Because it can't be that great.
Not right now. Well, it's just enough to get the FAMAS buy, really. Device gets his AWP back. He is able to buy it, so they just had enough money to make this buy happen, but this is an all-or-nothing kind of buy for TSM. Only 2 rounds left in this half, this being one of them, and Device decides to go aggressive. But again, Luminosity just holding so far back, they don't care, Anders. Instead, it's Fur going ultra aggro into connector, and he gets caught by Kerrigan.
A good start here, Fur going down. They need to stop this right now, TSM. They're actually losing the first half now. Luminosity, as I said, 7 rounds, I think is what they needed. That's what they're at right now, and there's still more to come. If they can win this, they could even finish 9-6 on the terrorist side of Overpass. And that would definitely have TSM wondering what on earth went wrong. Now, they're going to go and peek long. That might be a very bad idea. We've got Fallen on the other side. Device sneaking in, and he actually picks up that kill, jumps to get the information. Backup is here as well, but dupreeh goes down. Device gonna fall next. Luminosity, big opening here on A long. It's going to bring them back into a 3-on-3 situation. And Kerrigan trying to buy time for some better positioning here. Cajun, the only one in B right now, has to stay alive. If he wins this fight against Taco, that's going to be a big giveaway. And the bomb, bringing it back here. Taco maybe calling it out.
Taco knows where this man is. That's all he has to do. Boom, gets the timing right. Removes Cajun. As soon as Cajun throws down that smoke, Taco knew exactly where he was playing from. I think that's why he's calling to his mates, wait, I know where he is. If I get this kill, that's it, it's done. They have the time to set up now, get the defense sorted. Taco, he's going to be trying to pick off any of the rotators here. You can see him keeping his eyes on CT. And Cold is there to remove Kerrigan from on high. So it is going to come down to Xyp9x now. 1v3. And somehow TSM, despite getting the strong start in the round, they wind up in a 1v3 situation with Xyp9x just very firmly boxed in.
I'm loving this here. This is some real strength. If you get beat that badly on your own map, not even a chance, nothing that you could have done. And you saw, I think everybody saw when they were in those booths here, just how wrecked they looked. They all looked completely disheartened, like they weren't even really in the mood to play anymore. Now coming into this map, it had a bad start, but then they fought it back. What was it, 5-0 before they started to pick it up? Now it's 8-6. What a way to come back. That's a lot of heart being shown here from the Brazilian side. Fallen leading the charge, and now it's going to be Kerrigan trying to go aggressive here, but Cold takes one in return. This is the 15th round, last of the half, and TSM, they've got next to nothing. Fur going to be spraying down Device, and Xyp9x and Cajun, Dupree left here, but they've got only pistols here.
Rifle dropped, and now Fur waiting right around the corner. Dupree, is he going to get the drop on him? He is now within lethal range here, and no joy, just straight spray. Good damage there, but Fur, easy kill for him with that AK. So now it's down to Xyp9x and Cajun B, the last two here for TSM. And Luminosity are still holding so far back. It's crazy just how much of a slow pace they have going. They're willing to just sit and wait. All 15 rounds. They had one rush, I think, Anderson. One rush onto B. It's always just sit, wait, let TSM hang themselves.
Beautiful.
That was impressive.
Yeah, but this slow style, I mean, like I said, TSM were ready for this. They knew that this was going to happen, and yet they're still getting beat by it. That must actually feel even worse if you're on the TSM side here. A lot of credit still to the Brazilian side. It's Sip and Cajun left, and we're trying to see if they can pull out some sort of miracle. Obviously not going to happen now. 9-6 finish here in favor of Luminosity. Sip trying to hero it up here. Flashbang in once. I hope he's just gonna make the jump. Make it happen. It would look cool at the very least. Grenade gonna rain down. I hope he's just gonna make the jump. Make it happen. Cold, but he's also getting flanked from behind. Gonna rain down. This is an unwinnable position, and actually he's also getting flanked from behind. He dies on the stairs. This is an unwinnable position, and actually he dies on the stairs.
My 2 cents.
What a shock. Sip gonna end up going down here, and that's a huge first half here for Luminosity. Very well played.
That is just so solid. That slow play, TSM never figured out how to handle it appropriately. The fact that Luminosity were able to sit and just wait and sit and sit and sit and find opening kills so many rounds. It wasn't since the beginning that we really saw TSM come through in the clutch, but then many clutch situations, there weren't many like 1v1s. A lot of the time it was just Luminosity, 2 guys alive, 3 guys alive. And everybody just wiped out from TSM.
That slow style towards the A-bomb sign most of the time. TSM just did not know how to deal with it. And that's interesting because normally they've been playing very well on this map. I mean, against teams like Na'Vi too, who might have a similar style. FNX gonna open up with a shot on Dupree. Kerrigan in the back, what a start. If they win this pistol round, it's gonna be huge. FNX shooting Kerrigan in the back, what a start here. Fallen is trying to stay alive at the restrooms, and he takes down Xyp9x with almost a running headshot there, and now they can just play it safe. They don't have to fight anymore. They can just stay in the bomb sites and wait.
They haven't taken a single point of damage yet, Luminosity. All of these kills have been clean, easy work for them. And now, yeah, Cajun B, Device, they don't have a whole lot of hope in this round. They got to channel their inner forest, but they aren't even on the bomb site to do so. Still have to fight their way into a crossfire on this A site with no nades, no utility to make their jobs easier either. Kerrigan was the one carrying it, and so that's usually the case. The fact that Kerrigan doesn't hear that squeak door open and gets shot in the back trying to set up a nade, that's painful. Well, there we go. First man spotted into connector, and now they can start falling back. And Taco, he's now on short, but this is all bait. Exactly, for FNX to be here, just waiting, looking for that shot. He's getting that shoulder peek going, and Cajun will be able to step in, get the job done. So 2 kills for Cajun. He's got Kevlar and 68 HP.
And 10 bullets. Yeah, he's going to have to pick up a different gun. Otherwise, it's not going to work out. He's trying to get the shot in, but Cold interrupting that fight. And that's going to be Luminosity winning the pistol round on the second half, putting them up at 10-6 now. I just have no idea what's going on. This is This is definitely not easy.
Very even across the board as far as pistol rounds are concerned for all of these teams. Well, let's see. So Device, okay, so Device not going to go full commit. He isn't getting the Kevlar, so maybe wants to get that AWP to have that as an option. Fallen has got that scout. That's no problem. That's no surprise. Well, now they have to hope that they can reproduce what happened on Mirage. And there you go, Zipmix attempting to get that jump headshot in. Not going to work. That was a good read on his part. Oh, that's frustrating for Fallen. Unscope just as the man comes around the corner.
He's going to try and go for the jump scout instead. And that's somewhat risk-free at this level here because he's so far away and it's not so easy to take him down with a deagle. Mid-air headshot. FNX will fall, but still, they've got 3 kills onto TSM right now, so it's not looking too bad either. Fallen in the corner will end up dropping. Now they've got SMGs left, and they are against armor. This would probably have to be Cajun getting an ace, maybe?
Going ham. He's going to have the chance here as well. Yeah, spots the man in restroom. He gets tagged. Man around the corner, though, and that's fair. Keeps his cool, gets the shot. That's 100% kill right there. Gets the job done. Debris fall. Flash, no hope at all, and Cold is there to snuff him. Luminosity, they keep their cool. Even when the situation gets a little dicey over on long and mid in the restrooms. It looked a little shaky there after a strong start. They're able to come back into it. Good communication makes all the difference, and they are able to actually keep 3 players alive at the end of that round. So now, well, TSM, they have to go into a hard eco. Kind of surprised to see Device going for the Tech 9 as well, actually.
And when you're 5 rounds away from losing your own map, the thing you don't want to do is hard eco, right? You want to at least have a chance of fighting here. Not going to be the case at all. Fallen down in connector. FNX watching his back a little bit here, and Fallen still fighting down there with the SMG. If FNX picking up the 1 kill here, second one as well. Fallen helping out. Pistols out. FNX now with a triple, and the bomb is dropped as well. And Sip, he's got nothing left to do here. Wow. I've got to admit, I did not see this coming.
Outright total destruction. Brick wall. They just cannot get through it. Where's the TNT, Kerrigan?
How many rounds in a row is this now for the Luminosity squad, counting the end of the first half and the beginning of the second one? I'm really wondering at this point. I guess we could see in a second here, but it's wonderful play from FNX. So they get
great wall.
Yeah, so it's a good 7 rounds in a row for them right now.
I mean, yeah, 7 rounds in a row. It's not looking too hot. It's not. It's really not. TSM also seem to be a little reliant on the confidence themselves right now. They don't have any to work with, so that's definitely costing them. But now they can have the money to go for the full buy. So AKs, and again the spread, and a similar approach to what we saw from Luminosity. Although TSM are pushing out on the map a bit quicker. Cajun now he has connector control. 2 guys pushing up on long. And where is Fallen playing from this time?
Well, they had the AWP boost down here. It's a very cool idea because as we've been seeing pretty much all tournament, people will now check that, but people checking for a jump, not for someone waiting with an AWP, at least not most of the time. So it's still a very cool idea. This is shaping up to being a bit of an A push from the TSM side, and they desperately need it right here. Grenade goes in, Fur hiding in the corner. Device is gonna go and check it, he will, and Fur turning his back from the grenade. It's gonna be Fallen picking up 1 and a second here. So now TSM, they've been slowed down a hell of a lot. 30 seconds left. Fallen flashed in the corner. He still gets the frag on Dupree. More might be coming. They line up. He gets the quad kill. And now it's down to the Cajun. 1-on-3. Not gonna happen. What a hero. Fallen, look at that. All 4 kills going his way in spite of getting flashed and stuck in a corner. Luminosity. What is this team doing?
Everybody, that's what, I mean, they're getting closer to the goal, Anders, and that is that everybody on this team will be able to have rounds like this, can come through in the clutch for their team, do massive damage, just basically take a round under control for themselves and just manhandle their opponents. We saw it yesterday from Fallen on Cobble. Now we see it again. Fallen, 5 frags for him in a row. And well, now it's just falling apart for TSM. They're gonna go and try for the quick B execute. Cold still alive here behind Toxic, looking for that headshot as they come peeking around the corner. Not sure if he spotted the man on ramp, but now he has too many targets, and he's gonna get overwhelmed. Kerrigan doing damage with the Tech 9.
So speed is the key here for TSM. They just want to be fast, but Fur going to be taking down one. A little bit of hugging going on there in the hallways, but now they're going to get back in and defuse that bomb. Team spirit is good and all, but there's a ticking in the bomb site. Device trying to spray through. He's caught in the corner, and they don't line up for it. FNX getting a double kill, and now it's down to Sip in a 1-on-2. He gets flashed as well. He's in the corner. He can't see a thing. They're defusing the bomb. Sipnix goes out, but it's not going to be enough. It'll be Fur instead. And look at this. Luminosity clutching the round right at the end. That could have definitely gone horribly wrong. Instead, they pushed themselves further, and they're now very close to winning this map.
That's what Ferg is like. He's like, wait. They're just like, wait a second. That's exactly what we were waiting for. We need to get a kill as that bomb gets planted for us to have a chance to get back in there. Boom, he delivers. And Luminosity, they don't pass up the chance. Sometimes you have to go for the big plays, Anders. You know, you can always back off, save your gun, think about the next round, okay, right? But sometimes it does work out where you just have to be brave. You have to get in there. You have to get the job done. And so Luminosity, this is the kind of round that will break TSM. TSM, are they going to have the confidence? Well, Fallen's going to do the best that he can, at least, to shatter it. And Cold is already starting off strong, taking out Cajuns, who I guess just decided to run right through.
Yeah, I don't think even TSM know what they're doing anymore. Luminosity have stripped them of all confidence, and right now, it's just down to sort of a raw battle here with what's left of TSM and a super impressive looking Luminosity here. Device, he is alone. I mean, they're going to push themselves onto map point. It's almost inevitable at this point that we're going to be seeing a third map here at the semifinals. I would have bet a lot, Semler, on this being a 2-0 once they picked up. I thought there was a decent chance that Luminosity could win Mirage. Turned out I was dead wrong. They got crushed. But once they won Mirage TSM, I would have bet a hell of a lot that it was going to be overpass for TSM.
Once you see that the first map, hey, TSM just crushed Luminosity on Mirage, yes. But then they start off 6-0 on this map as well. You're just like, well, this is it, right? TSM, they're living up to the standard that we expect of them as a world-class team. And right now, we're just seeing that collapse. Total, utter collapse on their part, on the Danes. So Luminosity now, they know exactly what's happening for TSM. No bomb plan for TSM means that they're going to be stretched for cash. Going to be floating around that 35 to 4,000 mark, so not full nades. That doesn't stop Fallen from peeking anyways. Aggro peek at long, still hanging around with that AWP. He's going to be backing off towards that A site to help his teammates, and we saw the impact that he had there last time, Anders.
Well, it's going to be Fallen, FNX, and Fur to get 3 kills here, and now it's down to the 1 versus 5. I don't know what to say. I mean, I made a bit of a Brazilian barbecue joke after that first map. Might have some Danish pork roast here. This is gruesome right now. Luminosity gunning through our third map in the semifinals. They've done very well in this tournament so far. It looks like we are going to be seeing it as well. Dupree getting a good double kill in here, but there's so much left to do. They fight, they win. Luminosity, we're going to go to Inferno.
That's right. The Brazilian fans in that front row, they can get on their feet now. They've actually pulled it off, Luminosity. Incredible comeback for them. Yeah, just being able to get their heads back in the game. I mean, they were just getting caved in for so long after Mirage into the beginning of Overpass. The fact that they were able to turn it around, Fallen as an in-game leader, you really have to give him credit.
Absolutely, and you bring up the Brazilian fans. I've got to point this out as well. The Brazilian scene is obviously super vocal, and you know they're going to be watching. You know they're going to be so excited about this. What a game. We get treated to a third map, Inferno. That's another map that they play very well on the Luminosity side. TSM, on the other hand, I count them as one of the 3 teams that are really heavy hitters on this particular map. Them, Envy, and Fnatic, they are very hard to beat on Inferno.
No matter how you cut it, Luminosity are underdogs in this best of 3. Not only because they're standing in the world, but just because all 3 of these maps are maps that TSM should not lose.
Yeah.
These are 3 very solid maps. Mirage, Overpass, and then you close on Inferno. TSM, they should win 3-0. They should win 2-0. But Luminosity, they're taking it to map 3 now. It's 1-1, and we're going to take a short break, guys, before we get into it.
Are you an esports fan? Prove your skills and join hundreds of thousands of players to create your fantasy lineup. Alpha Draft is the best place to play fantasy esports, and it's easy to start. Choose the contest you would like to join. Next, pick your favorite players, then watch as their stats update live. After the games are finished, you can collect your winnings. Watching your favorite game has never been more fun than when you have something on the line. Be Alpha and sign up today on alphadraft.com.
Melee versus melee matchup. Hero that has
Start a little bit of a delay there, guys. Trying to sort out the sides now.
Trying to cheat us is what they did. Come on, call it for me. Who wins this map? Go with your heart. Everyone would say, sort of, objectively speaking, probably TSM the favorite team. I need that gut feeling,
Gut feeling?
Yeah.
Still TSM.
Oh, damn. All right. So cold.
Still so cold. It's cold here in Sweden, Anders. I've been here long enough now. It's worked all of the warmth out of my body. Odin got rid of the frost giants, but he left one behind, me.
I mean, I'm Danish and all. I've got the Kerrigan wristband on. I've got it all going on right here, but I've got like this really strange feeling.
Uh-huh.
I don't
Oh,
know
yeah?
what
Are
it
you
is.
really?
Need help?
I don't know what it is. I mean, on this particular, on the last map, Fallen obviously came through to his team, but I want to look at Cold this particular game. He's had some really good Inferno games in the past. I think Cold could be the key to this. The kid is a superstar, and he came out of nowhere.
But instead, we're going to be taking a look at Fallen, who has also had these high-impact rounds. I mean, it's easy. Any in-game leader will say, well, when my boys are doing their work, it's easy to call, right? But then he can even get into the mix. He can even have these high-impact rounds where he gets 2, 3, 4 kills with the AWP. He's one of those crazy operas who can just, take the fights long range, but also if he gets up close, he's not afraid to use it like a shotgun. Just get the job done messy that way. So Fallen, he has really shown himself here at this tournament, what he is capable of. Now over on the TSM side, Dupree, the entry fragger rifler extraordinaire, and sometimes Opper. You give this guy a toothpick and he's gonna get frags with it. So
Yeah.
really surprised to see that Dupree was struggling a little bit on that last map. He's usually one of those players that you look to on TSM to get a lot of work done.
I think at this point it's safe to say that Sip is going to be showing up for TSM. He's been doing that for a very long time.
Well met.
I'm wondering what the counterpart is going to be. I mean, on this map, it's a bit different for TSM. I actually think a lot of the time when they do need an AWP, if they need it on the CT side, they'll probably go to Device for doing it.
True.
Like on Inferno, that seems to be his role within the team. Very curious about how Luminosity are going to play this map. If they're going to go for, if they are going to try and play some misleading strats, or they're going to try and fake out a little bit. I'm looking to see if they're going to use FNX as like the odd guy out, because I know that's something that TSM have caught on to. That very often if they run a strat, then it'll be FNX who's sort of the odd guy out. So if you find him, you know a lot about what's happening already. On Overpass, they use Taco mostly as the guy down by the B-bomb side, who was sort of the odd man out. The problem is if you use the same person over and over again to play to play alone as a single person on the
Farewell.
map. If he gets found, then you kind of know what the setup is, right? It's exactly like we used to say time and again with NIP. If ever you'd find Get Right alone, well, you know the rest of the team is somewhere else.
Yeah.
So it's a big giveaway. That's why a lot of teams will switch up their styles and switch up their positions every once in a while, just to know that it's always a little bit doubtful. If you get a kill on someone, you think, wait a minute, I killed this person in this position? That doesn't make sense, So keep people guessing. That's a depth that I think Luminosity might not have yet. So we should keep an eye on it for that very reason.
I'm a little worried about Luminosity starting on the T side on Inferno. I would have actually liked to have seen TSM even just go so far as to swap over to the T side themselves so they could control more of the pace of the game, because of what happened last map where Luminosity, they just controlled it from start to finish. This ultra passive style of just not going anywhere on the map, just waiting until there's like 15 seconds left on the clock before they push onto a site. They did such a fantastic job of just slowing everything down to the point where TSM were getting uncomfortable. Here for TSM, I would want them to just be able to, start off strong, set the pace, set the tone, and go into it all guns blazing, right? And there is a little bit of a challenge in mid just for a heartbeat. But it is going to come down to TSM not letting Luminosity get comfortable on this map. They're going to have to challenge them. They're going to have to challenge them Banana, because Luminosity are so very good with the B executes.
And what they have is one flash and one smoke on Fallen. Again, taking one for the team. Fur getting a headshot on Cajun, and they could easily use that here in the middle. They can use both bomb sites. If they go B, they're probably going to use that smoke for the CT spawn. If they go mid and just try and charge in, because everybody else has Glock armor, so, they're looking to get that horrifying Glock train rolling. Sip holding alone here at B, and he's got no grenades to stop them.
Yeah, there's already the single smoke on Fallen. That's all they need. Smoke into CT, flash onto the site. FNX goes charging through, and now it's all on TSM. Well, on Zipmix basically, and he already gets dinked down to 4 HP, so it's not looking pretty for him. Unless he can get a headshot here, it would have been possible perhaps for TSM to have a little bit of an edge going into it, but now they're 2 men down going into a B retake. Kerrigan needs to get this one, and he will. Cold is gone, but now 4 players left alive here for Luminosity.
Kerrigan also being tagged a little bit here. Bomb ticking away. Dupree currently does have the kit on him, but no armor. And this is going to be a very tough retake. Kerrigan going down. Fur with the second shot at Fallen. Long range there, taking down Device. Very nicely done. And it's overall a triple kill from Fur, who was pretty much entirely absent for the first map. Came back into it on the second map. Well, now it's a good start for the terrorist side.
Yeah, he had a few good rounds for, but it wasn't until much later on in the map, you're right. He had a very cold start for. So now it comes down to TSM. They don't decide to go for the full out buy, though. They are going to be holding on to a little bit of their money going into that first buy round. All they've done is invested in smokes this round just to make Luminosity slow down a little bit. Maybe give them a fighting chance if Luminosity decide to get antsy, try and push through smokes. With these pistols up close, TZ, they could do some damage here, TSM.
And again, all of these smokes reveal so much about the Inferno map architecture because it's the only map where you'll see people doing this in a second round. But it has to do with the fact that you can block off. I mean, this chokehold already especially now trying to run through, and actually Taco going to be successful. Device not hitting the shots, and he goes down. Taco, even in the fountain, getting his feet a little bit wet there, but he's going to be fine. Carrigan charging onto the bomb side. It's Fallen with another SMG kill. And Sit and Cajun just left waiting. So when you buy all these smokes on the CT side, what you're just hoping for is that someone is going to make a mistake and they get a little bit, you know, nervous. And especially if they end up running out of time, you have more smokes left that they didn't expect. That didn't happen here, and Fur will clean it up. So great job.
Yeah, just fantastic work so far from Luminosity, keeping their cool. They do decide to take the risk and push through the smoke. They do it well, though. Full flashes leading the way onto that B site. And this is where I think TSM, when they get the rifles, they're going to have to put a lot of focus on trying to gamble, at least take control of Banana early on. Don't let Luminosity just get all the way up the top Banana and feel comfortable, feel like they have all the room they need to execute, put up a bit of a fight. TSM were famous for this way back in the day, where Zipmix would always be smoking bottom Banana. They'd always play aggressive, take Banana control. TSM, and they need to do that when they have the guns. I don't think that they can allow Luminosity to have all the comfort, all the confidence.
Well, they're going to have a lot of confidence here, wrapping into the bomb site. Just one player holding cold, going to drop him down. And, well, still holding here is FNX, and he's already got one kill. Falling back with the AK. They really want to see if they can hunt this AK down, and they're going to be successful. Can they hold on to it as well? That would be nice for the upcoming round. Again, so we talked about the smokes already, and this is mostly for anyone who's new and watching the game. If you've been watching for a long time, you'll probably know already. But smokes are great. If you've got Molotovs too, the amount of time you can buy on the CT side before the terrorists could sort of realistically push through becomes very, very difficult to deal with if you're on the terrorist side. So this AK is going to allow, for at least for Device or somebody else maybe, if he drops it for somebody else, to pick up maybe a Molotov as well, which is not so common in the fourth round. Normally you have to wait a little bit later on if you stack up CT rounds.
Well, they're on the hunt. Oh, and Fallen misses the jump. Well, that's a little frustrating because he might have been able to get the shot on Device. But instead now it looks like Device will survive the round. He will have that AK, so somebody will have full nades going into this next round. They did a pretty good job managing their money as well, TSM. So they should have everything they need here going into this one, and it is going to be Kerrigan going for the AWP right off the bat. Fallen is going to be there to greet him with his own sniper rifle. And now really we have to see, do TSM decide to take this match by the throat and just go with it? They need to just put the pressure on Luminosity early on, and so far it doesn't look like there's going to be any kind of challenge in Banana.
What we do have is Carrigan with the EWP, so not Device like I was predicting earlier on. We'll see if it's going to work out or not. They've got a bit of a boost going up onto the canopy here at Quad, and Luminosity still playing very slowly. They have got a lot of Molotov on the other hand. 4 of them, in fact.
They have set up for a bit of a fight at top Banana, but it is going to come down to this key peek right there. And Fallen going for the slow crouch in. Not going to work, and he didn't get the info on Cajun either, so they have no idea right now, Luminosity and Cajun. Don't you dare throw a nade. Don't give it up. They decide to fall back. They had the element of surprise, but they decide to give it up, TSM. Not play so aggressive in the challenge. A little bit surprising considering Cajun hadn't been spotted, but they're trying to play it safe, I suppose.
A little bit nervous maybe on the TSM side. It's good to be defensive and careful sometimes, but you don't want to be, you know, timid and sort of and lack confidence. Sort of a fine line, it seems. Less than 40 seconds now, and again, this is sort of the Navi kind of style that we're seeing here. Very slow, trying to see if they can make it work. Shoulder peek comes out. Carrigan not hitting the shot. He's going to get the kill, but Fur will refrag, and he's been doing very well so far. Cajun hiding by a little pit. Flashbang going to go up. Now 24 seconds left as they try and make their way onto the A-bomb site mid-air. Taco going to get stopped cold, and FNX will take down Cajun. Almost no time, but the bomb has been planted inside, and it's now 2-on-3. For the only one with any real health, going to go for the spray, and he goes down to the pre.
And it's all on FNX now. He has the bomb planted for himself, but he should get spotted fairly quickly here. There should be enough people here on TSM to deny him after a while. Yeah, every time he tries to peek, as soon as he hears that defuse coming through, 2 rifles there waiting for him, and that was a great retake on TSM's part. Cajun in particular, not overextending himself on long, deciding to fall back onto the side, really make it expensive. And well, Device also with the rotate in. So Yeah, well, TSM. This isn't major technically, right, Andrew?
No, I mean, we've got almost every top team here. So, in terms of teams, we're not far off, I reckon. What would happen if you had Luminosity playing Na'Vi on land? The slowest match of all time.
Do they have the train? Do they have the challenge? Yes, they do. Okay, they have a smoke right there. A bit of a deep one. And Device in position, but there's too many people here. He's just spraying right through the middle of them. And everybody getting wiped out by on TSM's side, on the B site.
Wow. You're absolutely right. He had 5 people in front of him, and it looked like somehow he managed to find the only gap. You talk about shooting fish in a barrel, or apparently it's possible to miss him doing that. Zip, Cajun, and Carrigan are going to be left, and it's 3-on-5 right now. Fallen looking for kills, and he's going to go down early on here, but you can't really blame him. This is a really big turnaround, and again, I mean, these are the sort of rounds that TSM cannot afford to have. See if they could at least make it out with all their rifles intact here on the Danish side.
It's looking to be really scary about that. I mean, yes, the mid smoke. I mean, not the mid smoke, rather the smoke at top banana like that. Still, you're cutting them off from car. If they all come rushing through together, we just saw what can happen. And if the flash hits as well, which I believe is what happened to Dupree, who was behind Device. Device managed to dodge the flash. He was up close, but I think Dupree ate that full to the face. So Device literally had no support for that half second. It's just too nasty a situation up there. I would really like to see the smoke at bottom banana. Just challenge, just YOLO your nades in there, throw everything in, really do what you can to just stop Luminosity, to teach them that they can't come into banana early or they're going to get punished.
Well, Carrigan once again back to Orping here. In the middle this time, a little bit more aggressive. They are set up for some counter flashes instead of top, and that's a nice shot there. Cold going for the jumping shoulder peek, and that's a pretty good idea, but the problem is I think he landed a little bit too far out from the angle than what he really wanted to, so maybe a little bit of miscontrol there. Gonna give TSM the opening. Last time they got this, they just fell back and played defensively, and that worked. This time, they're still staying a little bit more forward on the map.
Curious to see. I mean, yeah, they really are just hanging back on the B side so far. And over on A, passive hold. Zipmix now playing from balcony. He's going to have that crossfire set up with Cajun. Cajun using position I believe that FNX was using actually earlier on in the tournament. Bit of a cheeky spot. That can get nasty. That half second that it'll take to adjust your aim. Yeah, exactly. It was Apex who kept running into it when Envy were playing versus Luminosity on Inferno. Nice flash though onto the balcony, and now Zipmix, that's a half second, but he knows that at least one player is waiting up here, and he needs to be ready with that AK. Yep, mid-air chicken shoot. Picks up one, gets the second. And Luminosity, this round, they can just write it off. They ran into the blender. It didn't work.
Okay. I have a request for anyone out there who is sort of a frag movie creator. I want to see that situation where they're both in the air right here. I want to see like the Matrix slowdown where you do like a full 360-degree camera spin while they're doing that. What is going on with Zip? That was a triple kill. And we're now into the 7th round here. Luminosity's economy down to a couple of Tech 9s here as well. There is a good chance for TSM to bring themselves, I think, also mentally back into the game right now, but we'll see. So far, even taking a huge loss on the first map, they haven't been able to break LG's confidence.
All you think when you see Fallen doing that is the floor is lava. You ever play that when you were a kid, Anders? Jump everywhere, can't touch the floor. Can't touch the floor.
Still play that some though.
Pretty nice movement from Fallen.
Never actually grown up.
No, none of us do.
Well, they have left a Device alone in the B bomb site with no smokes, a Molotov admittedly, and a FAMAS. I think this is a big risk now. Luckily, Dupree's close by, and he's got a smoke and a Molotov, and I think, did he put up a smoke? Yeah, he did. Nice angle that to know there. Good job on Dupree. So that smoke, you see, goes down right as LG are wanting to commit. If they try and go through now, there's a chance they'll run into a Molotov, and Dupree's nearby as well. This is what TSM are so good at and what they're well known for. If they run in on top of a Molotov, this should be a good round for TSM.
But then Luminosity are also world famous for their B-take. They know what's up, but there's the Molotov, you're right. Let's see, is they going to be able to get the job done? Device there to spray down the first man. They are taking a little bit of damage getting through it. There's the flash, and Dupree falling back, changing up his angle. Device doesn't need his help. Another headshot for him. He's looking for a third one. He will get it. 1 for 3. That's a trade, and that works out just fine. But then Fallen and Fer bringing it back.
Time to
9
get that.
seconds.
They need to get that bomb down. Gonna be able to just in time. Fur very low on health here, and they're both trapped in a very awkward corner. This is not a good position. Cajun is going to be walking in, and well, he doesn't check the corner, still going to get it, and Sip with the final headshot there. So Diffuse comes through, and good job on Device. That was very, very important. And the fact that, well, we've got to get some credit to Dupree as well. Dupree sticking around here is super crucial, because if he doesn't put that smoke up, then Device's chances of holding back the 5-man push that comes through, well, next to nothing, especially with the FAMAS.
It's also really lucky, actually, for Device to find himself in that second Orange's position, not the first. He would have got wiped out much quicker, I think. I don't think he could have traded 1 for 3 like that, because it's such a hard shot to hit when they're waiting in pool. You have to hit headshots, whereas they can just really just full spray on you. So Device finding himself in the right place at the right time, and given the kind of player that he is, if you give him that shot, he'll come in big. So Luminosity, they've finally been forced to pistols. TSM now get a chance to farm up a little bit, and Kerrigan gonna make life a little bit easier for himself here with that smoke in mid. Luminosity, though, they're going to set up with a bit of a Fnatic-style push, flash through the smoke, charge right in, and Kerrigan just barely makes it out alive.
This is a scary round for Kerrigan. I don't think he realizes, but it definitely is. Cajun picking up a good double kill here. Taco coming through, and he will drop Cajun. Did he do more? Not going to steal away any AWPs this time, and Dupree will finish it. Now, here's the thing. When you go second mid with that many players, the dream scenario is to have a guy playing up on the corner, because if he misses, only if he gets the shot, but if he misses the shot, then you chase him down. It's very hard
Hey,
to
what's
get back
up?
around the
I'm
corner.
gonna start my stream a little bit. I'm just doing some stuff in
couldn't know that
real
people
life.
were there,
And
but the fact that he does is very
I'll be,
significant.
the stream will be
That
live
could've
in
been
a
a horrible
little
way to start.
time.
Now we're tied up
Kind of
at
busy doing
4-4,
things.
and Fallen has picked up an
Yeah,
AWP too.
that's why there's no webcam or mic on right now. I'm just doing stuff.
And he's actually expecting the peak in the second mid, it looks like. You know, a little bit of a shot, a little bit of a trade. And no, mistaken on the numbers. Fallen's waiting in Banana. 3 players, though. This time TSM. The last time Luminosity ran into some difficulty on the A side, they instantly swapped it up, went ultra aggro towards the B side. And this time TSM were trying to pull a fast one on him, but instead it's Kerrigan getting slapped. Device, though, will find Fallen up on Woodlogs, and both operas down now for each team.
Oh, yeah. A bit of a wide angle for Kerrigan there, wanting to cover both sides of the hallways, and they used it against him. So Fallen being traded for Kerrigan. Both the AWPers are gone. Bomb all the way back here, but still lots of time for Luminosity to make a play. Once you lose a man, and especially if you lose a man and get an entry frag on the other team, I think B is a very decent call. They've still got 3 Molotovs, and you talked about this position earlier. If Device stays here and they gets Molotov down, things are going to get very bad. Smoke goes up, but they come charging through, and Device, he should have been ready for that. That is actually a big mistake. Dupree now playing close, that smoke not covering everything, spraying through and almost connecting. He gets the shot, and Cold is down to 11 as well. And Sip and Cajun, long way away is Cajun right now. They're going to have to go for a hard retake here.
Now Cajun just miles away. Now he's got to waste so much time trying to clear out Banana. He's just now making his way to bottom Banana. And now Cold, well, he's kind of hanging around on this angle, but they are going to be trying to back off, it looks like. Zip mixing a 1v3, unless he can catch somebody peeking him. It's really not going to work, and yeah, he's just going to set up for the exits. If they can get 1 kill here, TSM, they're going to be happy.
Well, a success so far. Taco going down, and Cold, I think he's, well, actually, he might be able to pick it up here. Cajun sprays 1. Cold going to go up with the bomb either way, so there it is. They at least take care of everybody else on the map, but so when a smoke lands and you're really close to it as a terrorist, you've got sort of, I mean, most of the time you're probably going to like to try and back off because you think, all right, let's wait for the smoke to go off. But a lot of teams, the sort of most aggressive ones, especially Fnatic and Envy, will do it a lot. When the smoke goes down and they're right in front of it, they'll just push through. They'll think, all right, I'll just go. And maybe Device is thinking, all right, I wasn't playing out of those 2 teams, so I shouldn't be ready. But he could have, I would have sort of expected him to stay there just a little bit longer and look and see if someone was coming through.
He was getting ready for that incendiary you were talking about being the key 1-2 combination for the B defense. Having that incendiary up behind the smoke, falling back, trying to buy time. And again, TSM, they just smoked top Banana with 1:10 seconds left. The Luminosity have all the time in the world now. Fresh smoke goes up, but they aren't even going to wait. They just go charging right through. Good delay, and, well, Dupree does manage to hold his own. Takes out the first. Dupree with the second. Don't miss the flash now, Dupree.
Well, someone's coming through construction, so Device is reloading right in the face of Fallen, and that's not going to work out so well. So now 2-for-2 trade. Dupree hiding in the back lines, and he's going to go down to Fallen. Cajun spraying madly and taking out Cold. It's still 45 seconds here, and the bomb is not going down just yet. They need to make that bomb plant happen, otherwise TSM are going to get in very good positions out here. FNX
bomb not being planted by
FNX and Fallen. He's got the triple sip. He might have to try and save TSM here all on his own, and it's not an easy task. Now the bomb is down, and he's got that AK, and they're both in the back line.
Oh, they're both stacked up, double corners and black corner as well. I mean, Zipnik's, will he be able to actually figure this out? He has no idea. He knows that one player is here. He's checking the usual spots. One of them is going to stack himself, and that's all about the bait. All about the bait and switch.
Quad kill for Fallen in this round. 6-4. And Luminosity, they're on the terrorist side of Inferno. This is one of these maps where, again, TSM have had a lot of results over the year where they've been sort of locking people out on the CT side, where they get these really stunning, 11-4 type finishes. That's not going to happen now, and I don't want to say it's desperate, but it is a bit of a stretch spy here for TSM. They've got to be very careful right now. It's 3 MAC-10s and it's 2 AKs on the Luminosity side. Were they expecting an eco here? I think they might have been.
I don't think they had the accurate read. You're right. You're probably thinking that TSM, after it being 2 players surviving that last round, they're a little bit light on cash. But there we go. Now they're changing it. Now the TSM, they have that man advantage. They go for the aggro smoke and bottom of Banana. They spot the man, but Dupree, he just gets flashed, full flashed as well. And nobody there to back him. Device has already fallen back to the main site, and they aren't wasting any time. Luminosity, they have the bomb to go right behind this. And what a shot from Taco! Takes out Device behind new boxes. The defense just getting shattered right now.
My mind is blown. How did he hit that shot? That looked so clumsy as well, because he was sort of, stumbling in, made us a quick jump, and hits it dead on. Sip and Carrigan is just going to have to escape here. I'm quite sure Luminosity thought this was going to be eco time for TSM, so they pick up 3 MAC-10s and, get ready to farm up some money. That's not the case, but they still win the round. Why not?
Oh, wow. Cold, long-range duel versus Zipnik's.
And I think with what we must be seeing here is a tactical timeout for TSM.
Has to be.
Already been called.
This is getting out of hand, Anders. 7 rounds. 7 rounds on the T side for Luminosity. It's just like what happened to Envy. Luminosity getting way too many T side rounds. And their CT side now, after the first run-through that they've had, it should only be getting better. What's insane is that this team, it is the element of surprise.
What is this?
Yeah, that's a spicy shot right there. But it's the element of surprise. It's a combination. Nobody really knows what to expect from Luminosity. Yes, they're a threat, but now with the 2 new players, is there going to be some shakiness there? No, they are just coming into this full swing without any practice at all. And I was talking to the coach, Zeus. They showed up at 3 a.m. the night that they were supposed to play. And so they haven't even had time to actually readjust at all, get over jet lag. Sleep has been terrible. They're just like going into these games and just buckling down. It's like, okay, time to do work. Let's go. True pros. They just show up and get the work done.
Yeah, 7-4. I did have that feeling about this Brazilian team. This LAN run for them, if they really manage to take out TSM, then just imagine what kind of sick record that is. How many other, even like top European teams, how many other teams could claim to have beat the teams they beat in one LAN here?
Right, Thorin actually had a tweet yesterday where there was a time when you defeat Envy, you defeat NIP. You pretty much you would win a tournament beating those 2 teams.
Absolutely, yeah, I saw that.
If they could go through and take out TSM, well, basically
Envy.
They take out 3 of the top 4 teams in the world on their way to a championship. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. But Fnatic are still, they're like the raid boss. They're waiting in the wing, in the last step of this. But if they were to remove TSM, that would be an ungodly start for Luminosity.
Well, ask Khan later on. What my prediction was yesterday, Semler. Ask Khan about it. He's my witness.
What? Did you tell Karn that Luminosity were going to light his boys up?
No, I said I'll tell you in a second exactly what my prediction was. We've got Dupree burning alive here, and with no armor and just a saved AWP. Not such a good round right here. Cajun is going to be going down, and in the pit waiting, Sip has been discovered as well, and there's a little bit too many people coming for him, which means Device is just now kind of the wall between him and Carrigan. who has to save that AWP. If they get the kill on Device, they know obviously Karrigan has the AWP, so they're probably going to go hunting madly here. Karrigan, oh no. Yeah, they're all coming for him. This is not looking good, Samlo. Karrigan, nice shot on Fallen. Goes for a little bit more, but they're closing in from either side, and he will go down. No AWP being saved. So here's my prediction to Khan. I said, I think Fnatic will beat VP on 3 maps, 2 of them being easy, 1 being hard, which is exactly what happened.
Okay.
Said, I thought LG would beat TSM, didn't say anything about the maps, and I think Fnatic will beat LG in the finals. So that was my prediction.
Get trashed by South Americans.
Can't do that to him. He's you know, he would be disappointed in that, you know, in a heartfelt way. No, I can't do that.
I think it's kind of hard for everybody to believe right now just how good Luminosity are right in this tournament. The damage that they're able to do. Versus top tier, I mean god tier teams. TSM, Fnatic, Envy, the major championship winners. Ranked number 1 in the world right now.
What's got to be exciting is that, I mean, some of these players FNX we sort of know from earlier, right? Zazik had a career in 1.6. Hadn't been playing a long time, but we know his name anyway. But I mean, some of these players like Cold and Taco, and they're not really on the radar. They're not really on the radar for anybody. It's come out of the Brazilian team on an international level as well. You got to wonder what's in store. You know, we're at the end of 2015 here. Next year is going to be an explosive year as well. So if this is how it sort of ends, then imagine how it starts next year. Right now, it's definitely not done yet. It's 8-4, and TSM, they are widely considered sort of one of the top teams in the world. There's a good reason for it. They need to find some strength here that they haven't discovered just yet in the tournament and fight their way back in. Dupree hiding in the corner, and in the fire, Taco still wins against Dupree. What is going on? Device on top of Coils, looking for a shot, and he's got to be careful. They might be wrapping around. The bomb is going back to the bomb site right now. FNX going to win that fight, and Karrigan goes down. Cajun, he's not seen the bomb yet, but he's winning the initial fight. Sprays a little bit more. 6 seconds left. I don't think he can actually win this round any longer. And Cajun and Device, all they have to do is stay alive, and it's going to be just fine here.
Yeah, overthinking things a little bit. Luminosity in the end, if they get caught after the clock goes down, Fallen will be able to take out Cajun, so at least he stays alive with the AWP. But one of his teammates didn't have that joy. He went down after the clock ticked, so he didn't get any bonus money. Don't overcomplicate things, Luminosity. Your B take so far has been crazy successful. There's no reason to try and go, and especially when you're running down the clock so long. If you've got a minute left and you're going for these kinds of pushes, okay, fine. But when you've got 30 seconds left, if there's any one little thing that goes wrong with your fake, this is what happens. You just run out of time. You can't get on that side to get the plan.
Almost ironically, if they had gone for the V push, it probably would have worked. I think they would have had it this time because it's just Device there. Against a lot of people if they push through. Look at this. Is this Brazilian counter? Oh, they fall off. That would have been beautiful. They were actually trying to sort of hump their way in for the smoke and see if they could make that work. That would have been so sick if that could have worked out.
That's the kind of creative play we love to see, Anderson, that we don't get to see often enough.
Yeah, if they had the coordination to do that, that would have been
just
it.
Like, I think Karrigan would have tilted off the planet if he got hit. If he actually got hit by a boost up close like that. All right, well, let's see now. Taco checking out the room. Cajun, he's waiting right around this angle. All he wants is for Taco to overcommit towards balcony. But, you know, double headshot will work just fine as well. Taco taken out then, and Luminosity now, at least they have a little bit of an idea of what the defense looked like. That's going to change, but they're down to 30 seconds. So again, no time. They have to go. They have to make this happen. And that bomb is up in apartments. If it gets dropped into pit, it's going to be a catastrophe. It has to come out of balcony straight off onto that site. And Zipnix is already waiting here with the CZ-75.
Yeah, you're right. This is a very hard round for them to win already. Fer going to go down. FNX has the bomb. He gets a headshot on one, but 10 seconds and the bomb goes down. What a shot from Fallen, but this might not be enough time here. He's going to go for the plant behind the box. They're closing in, and he's going to get the bomb plant down, but he goes down right afterwards. Karrigan with a good double kill. And yeah, the clock here working against Luminosity at the end stages, giving a chance for TSM, making it 6 and 8. 15th round coming up.
Yeah, this is where you can start to see that there are still wrinkles in their game. Without any practice after the roster change, that's what's going to happen. They aren't as quick, crisp as they would like to get onto that site. There's a couple of, they obviously have to communicate to set things up. Everybody doesn't know what they need to do yet. So it's definitely costing Luminosity time, which is why I'm thinking they just need to go back to what has worked so far in this at the beginning of this half. Just go for the straight, simple plays. See if you can't mess TSM up in this last round. If you finish 9-6 at the end of the first half T-side, I mean, 8-7 would already be fantastic, but 9-6, that would do the trick. And is it going to be a very fast take on mid? They are getting prepared for it. Cold, he's going to have that deep smoke behind. There's the flash, there's the run. Kerrigan not flashed though, but the follow-up works. And there we go, the double entry frag could be a triple as well. Xyp9x takes one with them, but that's not good enough. And it's gonna be the rotation coming in now. Device and Dupree from the B site. Luminosity with plenty of time to set up for the after plants though.
Yeah, they got under the smoke to try and block off a little bit as well. That's going to make it difficult all on its own. Cold is here, and he hasn't actually used it yet. And they're trying to see if they can wrap around here. Cold coming into a nice flashbang from a teammate. And that's going to be Dupree gone. Device alone with very little of a chance here. He goes down. 9-6 finish, just like on Overpass, in favor of Luminosity on the terrorist side of a CT-sided map. Well played indeed.
This straight aggression, that's the key. And TSM are having so much trouble just dealing with the timings, dealing with just this brute force tactic coming out from Luminosity where they just have to have, like Luminosity right now, and then believe that you're going to get your headshot out of that trade, out of that situation. Behind that flash, you get in there, you get that kill. And if not, you're gonna have a mate right behind you who's ready to get that trade. And they're so good at it. Luminosity, when they pushed up short, taking on Xyp9x, Xyp9x, he's spraying madly, but he's got 3 rifles facing him. At least he trades 1 for 1, but that's the kind of situation that Luminosity always need. They've got the aim. They just need to not overthink things.
Initial flashbangs being put off from LG, trying to buy some control over at Banana. There's 4 armors currently on TSM, so they're looking for that Glock train. But Locus pushing down the middle. It's going to be FNX and Fur pushing it a little bit down further, and he's looking for the shot. Not going to make it work. Dupree will take him down. So a quick early trade here, and we'll see if LG win this round. Then TSM, that would be devastating.
That would be a catastrophe. They cannot lose this pistol, TSM. Well, it's going to be the straight rush onto the B site. Very little subtlety here. They're going to try and get the job done, but Fallen's able to trade up 1 for 1, and they have the crossfire. Cold doing big damage. He gets 2, and he could get a 3rd as well. But it's important that he stays alive, waiting for that rotation, but he doesn't need the help. Cajun makes sure of that. Instead, it's Taco to come in and just crunch Cajun to death.
The instinctive teamwork here on Luminosity is so impressive because the guy on Coils is playing really loudly and having a big presence in the B bomb site like that, which means the backup bomb site, new box is there, and no one is going to even worry about it. No one checks it. Allows Cold to get a couple of kills in there. It's just very impressive, and it works so well. Some simple stuff, but you can tell that they've got some good internal chemistry here on Luminosity. 10-6, it's all SMGs, MP7, Semler. 5 of them.
That's actually a little bit of a stretch. I mean, granted, MP7s, they do good damage versus armor, but not a single rifle?
Yeah, I agree.
When you know that TSM, without a plant, they're probably going to go for the Forest? Interesting. Especially because you have to get close with the MP7s. I mean, granted, okay, B site, you know, there are a lot of close quarters kind of angles to hold with the MP7 to be effective with, but you're running up against Tech 9s. So it's such a scary thing when you have to play close quarters with that.
Yeah, that's exactly. The Tech 9 wants to be close as well. If you had a rifle, at least you could try and buy some distance, and that would limit the effectiveness. Dupree with a shocking headshot to shot down FNX, and now, well, he's going to get a refrag here, but a lot of people are coming for Taco. He's in the pit. They've got a bit of a crossfire set up here, but can they actually maintain it? Taco spraying and trying to transfer Faye. Fur going to be picking up a great double kill, but he goes down, and that was Device with the kill being picked up there. Now, bomb is being planted in the corner. There is a kid on Cold, and they're right by the bomb site as it goes down.
And info. Xyp9x is going to get far enough back, though, to dodge most of that HE damage. He's down to 25, but the crossfire is still here. They're staking on Tech 9s as well. They don't need no staking MP9s. Xyp9x trades 1 for 1, and he needs to get up onto this site, but he gets a great shot onto Cold, drops him down to 12 HP. And that bomb still planted. No, it isn't. This is the moment. Can he actually get this? No, he cannot. Xyp9x darts forward with that Tech 9 and manages to end the job. Take out Cold before you can get that defuse going.
Great.
Yeah, I have no idea why Luminosity wouldn't have at least a couple of rifles there. That's really ambitious to just rely on SMGs.
Yeah, I agree, definitely, and maybe that's part of what backfired on them here. I'm impressed that they made that, was it Dupree live at the end, or was Device? I can't remember. Actually managed to get that kill on the bomb, on the diffuser, because that bomb position is used a lot and it very often wrecks the terrorist sign when people do it, because it's so hard to stop people defusing it in there. It's been a sort of a pet hate of mine on Inferno for a very long time. Sip with a nice opening shot on Colden. Just to point out, Luminosity did force up in return here with armor and pistols.
Yeah. Zipnik's had, you know, some Dayquil. Decided to snuff that cold real quick.
Oh, that was deep.
That was.
I like it.
But, well, I mean, Luminosity, they haven't overcommitted in this round, I don't believe, at least. They still have a little bit of a tricky play, but there it is. The firing squad, and they don't get the kill somehow. Device makes it out of there with 25 HP. And now everybody here for TSM, they're just going to go bombarding onto this side. It's FNX up close. He gets roasted, toasted, and Cajun shreds him as well.
Very nicely done here. Cajun landing a headshot on Fallen as well. And the rest of Luminosity, they don't have much, but it's still worth saving, I reckon. 4,200 in equipment value, and I mean, that defuse kit as well. In how cool it was.
No console kill e vai dar TK.
We have a flash to time. They have all the nades that they need as well, and the rifle advantage. No need to throw it away by taking any risks. Just sit and wait.
Taco with a single Molotov and maybe a Furs in position too. I mean, if they can sort of hit them and get them tagged up with the bullets inside the Molotov, sort of a slim chance here, but it's worth going for anyway. Molotov going to go down very early on, considering there's 55 seconds, and Taco just comes leaping out and he gets shot down to about 6 health. So, yeah, a lot of information here for TSM. And now no more grenades left on the so they've got a second guy coming into the bomb site. Might not be enough fur up here in apartments. Going to check it out. Not seeing anybody just yet. Gets a nice headshot on Sip and goes for a bit more, but he's sort of zoned out now. It's hard for him to get out on the balcony without dying.
Game, though. It's hard to challenge him, though, as well. If you get up close like that, once he Z bullet to the face, you're Dunsky, so they have to be a little bit careful about it, TSM. Now they know at least that they have a man on the back lines, but they know he's only got that pistol. He wasn't able to pick up the AK. So now it's all about setting up for the exits. Fair already managing to do one. And TSM, I like this play from TSM though, just wrapping right back around towards that A side, powering through. And not a whole lot that FNX can do right there with that MP7 long range. No Kevlar to mitigate the aim punch. What a shot on the cage, and gets him low enough, and can he actually get out here for a rifle? No, not quite fast enough.
That's a cool idea anyway. So, making it expensive for the Danish team to at least try and win these rounds. AWP being picked up on Fallen. Still some FAMASas in play here. We've got 3 smokes and a Molotov. That is actually not a lot. So if TSM play this round slowly, once we get to around the 40-second mark, I expect the Luminosity won't have too many grenades left, and yeah, well, that could be a big problem, obviously. So we're gonna see second mid, a lot of presence for the Danes, and see if they can get some. They might actually set up for a really quick.
4 players here on the A side right now. Fer has started falling back. A little bit of a bumbled nade there. It looks like they took a lot of damage at TSM, and there's the crossfire. Taco just sprays them down, and what a slaughter! Luminosity, right place, right time for every single one of them.
Yeah.
And what the hell was that HE? Did that come from Luminosity? I thought that
I think it did. The terror side was a grenade that came from the terror side was a flashbang set up.
No, we're gonna get the replay.
But yeah, I think you said right place, right time. But yeah, I think you said right place, right time. But 3 people at the A bomb site, 2 of them like quad, and the A bomb site, smoke don't work so well for TSM either. So work so well for TSM either. Almost. That's going to be around 11-9. That's going to be 11-9. Still favoring the Brazilian side. Yeah, an important round for them to pick up, I think. Yeah, an important round for them to pick up, I think.
They are going for the TSM. The deny really from TSM. Bottom smoke and banana, and just not letting TSM get control of that. Not letting TSM get control of that. Fallen waiting in apartments. That's exactly what Fallen waiting want. It's that one-two combination. Smoke at the bottom of banana. What do you do? Usually you play past it. Usually you play past it. You don't give TSM a chance to open it up. But Fallen, he was looking to pull a fast one on TSM there. He was looking to pull a fast one on TSM there. Maybe catch somebody running in there unprepared. Making a mistake running in there unprepared, and he could have got an easy pick for Luminosity. But instead, back to default situations here for both of these teams, actually.
50 seconds left, and TSM not with too much equipment either right now. A utility, Dupree with a nice shot there on Fallen. That's actually a huge kill. Got the Molotov as well. Can he burn out the corner? That would be big. What is Dupree doing? That's another headshot. Taco going to refrag that one, but he's flashed and trying to fall back. Cold has to come up massively here. If he dies, so does the B-bomb side. He's trying to make it out, but they know he's in the corner. He actually still takes Device with him. That's incredible. But Fur and Taco, they are at the bomb site. This will be a very, very difficult retake. If TSM don't make a mistake, I'm not sure they could do this. And already dropping low, and an easy kill there for Cajun. And TSM, ooh, that's going to wreck the Brazilian economy, isn't it? Well, they can maybe just buy if they want to force, but it won't be pretty.
Yeah, I think they don't. I think they go for a quasi.
Yeah.
They're floating around the 3,500, 4,000 mark. They could have gone for the force, but instead they want to make sure they have all those nades. It's constantly mentioned on the analyst desk, etc., that the nades is what really are what really make the difference for CT side on Inferno because of all these chokes, the incendiaries, the smokes, the flashes. I mean, if you have everything you need, it's a real pain for TSM to get onto those sites. So I'm glad that Luminosity, they're still ahead. Even with the Nico, even if TSM get up to 11-11, they're still the favored side if they have everything they need. So this is very good control coming in from Fall.
Ooh, flash through the smoke there. Dangerous play. Could have almost worked out. Fallen stepping close here with the P250, gonna get dropped. You are right. I think if they'd been playing Dust 2, then maybe Luminosity would have just tried for the force up in the round like this. But Taco moving closer on the 5-7 here. It's one shot headshot range here. Doesn't need the headshot. Gonna be taking down Dupree anyway. Can't steal the rifle, it seems. And so a good trade either way for Luminosity. They're gonna be excited about that one.
They're making it pretty expensive, all things considered.
Oh.
And yeah, Taco, he comes back afterwards to pick up the AK. Sneaky. And he even spots up a second man. Device. 2 rounds in a row now where Device gets picked off in a situation where I think he should have come out ahead. So
this kind of round, TSM just simply cannot lose. And they're actually pushing a bomb site with Furs, holding with 17 health. So the only way this works out is if they don't check the corner, which 9 times out of 10 they will. Fur gets one, he gets a second. What is going on? He's got 1 bullet left. He can't even go for the repeat, but it's still a 1v2 here. 20 seconds left, and Carrigan is going to be putting down the bomb. What is wrong with Fur? Never should that happen. They were even checking it, and he just comes blazing out. Carrigan goes down to FNX, and Luminosity absolutely robbing TSM of that round.
Oh, man. Ballad, you're right. Definitely say something to Fur in that situation. You got to congratulate him on just turning that round. And Taco as well. This frag right here. He puts the pressure on, gets Dupree's gun, gets the kill on a Device. And then Fur.
This is nuts.
This is sick. Just mistiming on the flash. That's what caused that Mix's life. He turns away expecting the flash, but he's a half second too early. Fur's just like, oh, thanks. Yoink. Boom.
Small mistakes.
Oh man, that's gonna be so painful now because now they actually have 2 players with 4,000 on Luminosity. 3 of them will buy up, but it's a little bit of breathing room here for Luminosity. And where we're saying that, yeah, okay, they should accept they're just gonna lose the round and play from 11-11. Luminosity, them being a momentum team, this is gonna be a huge blow to TSM.
I mean, that was a big gift, and it's gonna come back to haunt TSM later on. If they lose just a couple of more rounds here, then the thought of knowing that you could have been closer, you could have had a better economy, and even more importantly, the other team could have had a worse one. It's really gonna wreck them. And look at this, how many Molotovs are left now here? 2 smokes, 2 Molotovs at about a minute left, and that's a very good sign.
Yeah, exactly. This is ideal. Oh, so many Molotovs, a lot of flashes as well. So they have everything they need here, Luminosity, to really wreck TSM when TSM decide to go for the play. And TSM, they're not going to have anything to do here on the A side. Instead, it's dupreeh just kind of lurking around, hoping to catch somebody trying to get info on Luminosity's side. It's TSM, double molly 3, double smoke. Everything you need.
Yeah, especially in the position that Cold is in right now. He's got the one Molotov on here, but he could get Firebomb out of the position. Fur gonna go down, Fallen here with the AWP flashbang in, and yeah, Cold has to run from the fire that's raining down. Device gonna be dropping Fallen, then Cold in the back lines here. Oh, 20 seconds. He's got a 1-on-4 on his hand here, and they know where he is back here as well. Gonna be spraying down 1-on Sip, but 15 seconds. The bomb will be going down, and the dupreeh is even covering the rotation here. Great execute right now for TSM. That's a beautiful round. Very, very good Counter-Strike coming out here, and yeah, someone daring to wave the Danish flag down there. We're gonna almost be tied up here. The money for Luminosity is not good, and again, they go for sort of some C-sets here.
Yeah.
TSM, they've obviously got to win this round.
Yeah, this is still, they can get an AWP for Fallen in the next round if they want. There are some options still. So, Luminosity, man, talk about an up and down roller coaster of a match that we're getting from both of these teams, both sides. The fact that TSM are still in this, though, really speaks of the quality of these players. Nice little nade there just to shake Cold up. He gets dinked for 21. And while Luminosity still holding close here, TSM not running into any kind of trap. Instead, Luminosity playing this out as if it was a default round, as if they had rifles. I mean, they have CZ, so they might as well, but...
In so many ways, this is a strange game for TSM because we've got Cajun and Sipnik's top fragging, whereas Device is on 11 kills, 12 on Carrigan, 13 on dupreeh. So sort of some of the really big players here are not really showing up for TSM, at least not enough right now. Close range here with CZ, and well, if he'd made a little bit of patient, maybe they would have presented a target for him.
Early rotation from that B site means there's still 3 players alive here for Luminosity. 2 of them have Kev, or one of them at least, Cold. And while dupreeh manages to find FNX, Fallen gets caught. It is going to be Fur trying to tap away, and he will be able to pick up 1 kill onto dupreeh. That isn't exactly good enough here. Cold's going to rotate right into Cajun B. Kill after kill coming through, and we're tied up now 12-12. TSM, they're bringing it back here. And Luminosity, they will be going for the buy. Basically everything they can chuck into this, but it's so light on the nades, Anders.
This semifinals has turned from being sort of 2 fairly one-sided maps into an absolute horror show here on Inferno. 25th round is coming up now, and the scoreline is tied at 12-12, with Luminosity's economy being significantly worse than TSM. Right now, the Danish team could afford to take a round loss, and they would still be able to buy and put more pressure on. And stack going on here at quad.
Yeah, they really are focused on that mid play, but TSM, they've decided to take a different tack completely. Haven't really gone for having dupreeh lurk up like that and look towards Graveyard, look towards Pit. Might get nasty. Device trying to bait out some kind of shot, some kind of reaction in case somebody's holding close. Fallen, not gonna go for it. Instead, waits so patiently and gets rewarded in the end. Takes out Device, and now it gets real sticky here for TSM.
And this 3-man stack to the right-hand side of mid is going to be very tough for them to break indeed. FNX spraying down one, Taka with the Sipnix is going to get a kill, but he comes out on the balcony and is in a very poor position to try and do anything. He actually gets a shot, but the bomb is now trapped in middle. 40 seconds. This would be the clutch of a lifetime here for Sipnix. Could very well be the difference between them making the grand finals and not. He's got a 1-on-2, he jumps and Fallen shoots him out of the sky. 13-12 here. The money... Oh, well, yeah, they're going to spread the buyout here on the TSM side. Wow.
You have to admire FNX as well. He knows that he's boxed in. It's all about just standing his ground. He doesn't try and go for anything crazy. No nades, no running away, nothing like that. He just sits there and says, okay, if I'm caught, I'm going to take at least one more guy with me, if not all 3. So FNX, man, that boost position just made it work so well. And now it is going to be the buy coming in from TSM. They still have the money. They tried to get up to top banana quick, but the flash, smoke, everything here to deny them, and now it's back to basics. Just spread back out across this map because you aren't going to get that early take in here where you can get right up on the B side.
This is a very, very scary situation for both teams. Nobody's really making away too much. I mean, it was 2 people left for Luminosity that last round. They've got almost no money. Bounce into neither sort of match and map point. Luminosity win this round, win it, then it's going to get sort of match and map point. if TSM win it, then it's going to get really rough for the end of it here. So a very, very open game, and not a lot is going to be decided in this one round here. Double stack over at B right now. Fallen with the AWP close range, and he's got Cold behind him, ready to build up a smoke. If Fallen gets a shot, smoke's going to go up, and they're going to try and fall back here.
Yeah, double smoke, there it is, shoulder peek, bait, device, perfect timing, can Fallen do it again? Point blank, and he's still alive, but it's gonna be Cold with a double, nearly a quad. Triple spray for Cold, more than making up for Fallen, not landing a shot, and it's a man advantage now for Luminosity, and they're looking to deny the bomb plant. They do so. FNX there just in time, and now again, Xyp9x 1v3 this time, and he's stuck in the triangle, Anders, and it's closing in on him. He's got nowhere.
Scene.
You fight with a blink, you get an early medallion.
Turn around like this.
Well, they're trying to get creative, Anders. They're trying to do something new, and then they just, the pressure of closing out this map, of closing out this series, that's where mistakes get made. We just saw one right there, taking out your teammate as he's standing in front of you. Just a huge commit as well from Furman, just going all the way out there. Nice shot, Fallen.
Fallen, man. Yeah, if he had been at the A-bomb site with that, or maybe that would have been different, but you're right. Shooting your teammates, no matter how annoying they get, it's not okay.
I mean, if you're Guardian, okay, because you're probably worth like 3 players regardless, right? But like,
yeah. I know. We play matchmaking together, Semler. Sometimes have an urge to just put you out of the round.
Yeah, that was nice. Fallen is such a versatile offer. Just why I was a little surprising to see. I mean, it was also great baits from Device earlier on when they were trying to push on a banana and Fallen was holding close. You really expect that guy not to miss. But again, aggro, smoke, and banana. Luminosity not giving up. They aren't going to play passive. No, they're going to take the fight to TSM. Make sure that TSM can't get too comfortable here. TSM seems like they're perfectly relaxed with the situation. There's no reason to take a big risk. Said there's going to apply a little bit of pressure with the flash. Said there's going to apply a little bit of pressure with the flash and some shots through. Keep falling on his toes. This kind of reminds you of like old Neo. Just leave the guy solo in banana with the op, no problem, and then put 4 guys over on the A side.
The thing is, I'm not even sure Neo very often would go for that much of an aggressive push with just the AWP. So the thing is here, he's got no smoke or Molotov to sort of, if they rush him down, he's not even got a flashbang, then that B bomb side is lost instantly. This is a very, very brave round coming out of Fallen here. And we'll see if it's going to work. If they push A, this will be beautiful for Luminosity. They've got 4 people stacked up here. The bomb is still sloped though, and Dupree walking in kind of far. If you get in this far, you might not be suspecting a stack at all.
He's wondering. He does spot the man in pit. There's still a man holding on the site itself, though, and Cold getting pre-fired, but he still gets a shot. 1-for-1 trade. That might be good enough as FNX takes out Dupree. Kerrigan right on the edge, going for the wild spray, and he can't quite find Fur.
It's too late. He's alone. He's doing some good damage, but somehow Fur is still staying alive. Kerrigan trying to reload here after getting the shot, but he's going to go down to FNX, and that's match and map point for Luminosity. 15-13, and a quad kill for FNX in that round.
On the site with the swag. Holding close. He's really favored that spot all the time on Inferno, holding up close right behind the box.
And you know what? I think what tempts TSM to get in that far is because Dupree's allowed to get so far into the bomb site. Doesn't even spot it. The first guy he sees is in pit. Then you're not going to be thinking, well, they've probably got 4 people sniping into the bomb site. They're just playing very defensively. That isn't the logic, right? Normally, people would be trying to hold middle with 4 people. This could very well be it, ladies and gentlemen. If Luminosity win this round, they will have dropped Envy, NIP, and TSM in one LAN tournament with 2 new players on the lineup. Yeah, that's making history.
Yeah, legendary. Now it comes down to whether they can keep their poise, keep control. Don't throw it away. Don't go too aggro. TSM are still floating around, but there we go. Flash the top banana, trying to get that pressure in, but then the timing is impeccable for Luminosity. They put down one. Device through the smoke will find Fur. Just a lucky shot through with the timing just right. And that's a little frustrating for Luminosity, but in the meantime, straight A push. It is all on Taco now.
A lot ahead of him. He's trying to stay alive, hide in the corner. He does get a kill, but Dupree drops FNX, and Taco still doing work, but Cajun will be dropping him in return. Cold with a sick headshot onto Cajun B. The bomb is not down yet, and it's back into a 2v2. Fallen, not going to get the crossing shot. Molotov is going to try and block him out of the bomb site for a bit, and Cold will fall back in, and this could be the deciding 2 versus 2. 20 seconds now left. Fallen pushing up with the AWP. Bomb going down all the way at the edge of the bomb site here, and Cold and Fallen, they're both on the same side, trying to take a push in, swap out for the M4. They only have pistols on the TSM side. This would be a miracle if they could do a device, landing another headshot, and Garrigan dropping the last player. That was Cold going down, and we'll be in the 30th round to try and see if Luminosity could do it, or we're going to overtime.
And this is it. I can't believe that TSM managed to pull this off.
Seriously, Device has been so absent from this game. He gets 2 incredible Tech-9 shots, the first of them through the smoke as well.
Yeah. That already kind of wrecks Luminosity, because they're thinking it is going to be a B play. They decide to meet it bravely, head on. And that ended up costing them. Now it's going to be Fallen just, well, again, charging through, but Device is ready and waiting for him. Fallen, if he gets the angle wrong, it's going to be painful, but no. Plays it correctly. And Device has no target to work with. In the meantime, still 4 players gathered up. There is no aggro push towards T apartments this time around. Instead, it's just going to be waiting in bedroom with Fur.
Of all the rounds, of all the ways in which TSM could lose this game, I feel like losing to 3 sets, C-set 75s, a 5-7, and a max 7 would be, that would be devastating as well, wouldn't it?
Heartbreaking?
Worst possible way to lose. Fallen again alone on the other side. Can they spot him? They can, and that's an opening if I've seen one. 50 seconds left, and they're going to charge on through. Are they realizing the bomb is coming over there as well? There's nobody in the B bomb site right now, and TSM, they're going to find out. 99% chance this is going to be overtime.
Yeah. At this point, it's almost an unwinnable situation for Luminosity. Do they check this corner for Kerrigan? It's all going to come down on this man. Keeping his cool. Cold did a good job. He did actually check, but he gets caught point blank with that Galil, not able to get the job done. Now it's going to be FNX just charging through. Gets one, gets 2. No, is this actually happening? One rifle and the flash is there. Kerrigan there to lock it down, but it is going to come down to Fur in a 1v1.
He's got no kit, so he has to move so lightning fast. All he has to do is hide in the back line, staying alive. It's all that matters for. He sprays, he gets the headshot, but there might not be enough time. Is it going to happen? He's trying to get that diffuse through. And I think that just might be, oh.
It's not going to happen. He's not going to cut it. There's no time. 2 seconds short.
Oh,
no kit.
Look at the reaction. We're going to overtime, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. Relief on TSM's side. Our 2-second decider here in the semi-finals of DreamHack Winter 2015. What have we done to deserve this, Semler?
I don't know, Anders. I'm trying to wrap my head around that. This already. Just the tip.
But let's be clear here. It should have never been this close. It should have been an easy shutout. As soon as they get the opening frag on Banana and they realize there's nobody in B, that's an easy round.
No,
and it isn't, because Luminosity are apparently insane.
Because somehow the man finds his way through the CZ-75 through construction. Nobody there watching that angle. 2 guys holding in yellow or in pit for TSM. How does that happen that he actually gets out of there uncontested? That's nerves, Anders, as well. That's just where it's, you know, adrenaline is thundering through your body. You're just waiting to hope that you can actually pull this off.
Yeah, I mean,
you make mistakes.
The European sort of you know, hold on the Counter-Strike scene is being challenged by a very powerful team from South America right now. Makes you wonder, Sander, what would happen if we started seeing sort of a significant number of Asian teams as well? I'm just saying we could have a very exciting Counter-Strike scene in 2016. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know which of my favorite hope phrases to use with you right now, Anders. You know,
Springs eternal.
Hope springs eternal. Yes, that's one of them. But then yes, but a waking dream. So, there we go. Now, what is
Look at this.
discussion?
Look at the map score. 16-5, 16-6. You know, 2 stomps on the first 2 maps. The way it was looking, 9-6 in favor of Luminosity on the terrorist side of Inferno. It looked like we were going to crush TSM on this map as well, and somehow that didn't happen, and now we're in overtime. And if you've just joined us, you are pretty much right on time. If you're a newcomer and a new viewer to the game, well, you haven't picked a bad time either to get involved with the Counter-Strike scene. It's been very, very interesting here. So now, this time, because I actually have the overtime format right, unlike yesterday, we do have MR5 and 16,000 starting money, which is significant here. It means right now either team's at 15 rounds. We're looking for the first team to get to 21 rounds. You need to win 6 rounds, and you're going to be playing 5 of them on terrorist side, another 5 on the CT side. Double overtime is perfectly possible as well. And the 16,000 starting money is relevant in terms of when you're going to run out of money, especially on the CT side. Just a quick recap for anyone new watching who might not realize what overtime means.
There you are. There you have it. And we're not wasting any time at all, guys. We're getting right into the thick of it here. Full buy for both teams, of course, following with his AWP, and it's going to be Kerrigan, or Dupree, rather, on the other side. Order changed up. How did that work? Regardless, Dupree?
I just cannot answer that question.
I mean, he does think that he can op. If he didn't have 3 other oppers on his team, Dupree's like, I would totally op.
Good, this is brilliant phrasing. Yes, he does. Well, he's had moments where he's managed to prove it, but you've got to wonder if this is the right time to experiment with really anything. Fallen on the other side has proven himself much more than capable in the match already, and he's almost getting flashed there, but just manly dodges him. TSM, if the bomb still dropped all the way back at T-spawn, so right now they're just looking for a couple of openings. If they can get even just one, they'll go and pick it up and decide where to go from there. And FNX revealing himself up here, and he goes down. Quick trade, Fur and Taco with some great returns. It's going to make life very difficult here for Sip and Device.
Yeah, and they see the read coming. Zipnix is about to get toasty. Taco, he likes it spicy, he likes it hot, and he's going in, but he's not going to get the job done. Zipnix instead will take it, and it will be Fur there to lock it down. Now Device in a 1v3 to set the pace, to set the tone, so he can somehow find a way to get this bomb plant without getting picked out of the sky. That would be good, but Fallen's been so on point with this op. If he stays scoped in on this angle, if he trusts himself, believes it, yep, there's the shot. Again, Device has been so on point with these shoulder peaks. He's really got it down. Fallen keeps taking the bait time and time again. 15 seconds now. Another shoulder. Device, though, not going to make it. Fur there to ruin his dreams. And it's going to be the strong start for Luminosity. 16 to 15.
And the fact is, if Device was to show up here in the overtime, that would probably be what pushes TSM over the top and pushes them into grand final as well. Don't want to sort of keep riding Device here, but we expect more from him in a situation like this.
Well, what's a real pleasure to see right now is that across both teams, there's nobody really hard carrying, just like there's nobody really lagging behind. They're all still staying very neck and neck as far as frags are concerned. Everybody seems to have their moments where they step up and do big work.
Luminosity again going for the 4-man stack here at the A-bomb site, but Kerrigan going to open it up. Are they going to check the corner? Because Cold is holding. He sprays 1, 2, and 3. Goes for a 4th, and it's going to be the quad kill. Cold wrecking TSM, and now Sip alone in a 1 versus 2, but it is winnable. He's got 1 shot on Cold, or it could be a Cold ace, I suppose. Sip going to be creeping around the corner here as they are setting up and coordinating a bit with the attack here. You can see Cold doesn't quite want to go for it. Sip revealing himself now. They know exactly where he is. If he goes back, then Fallen's got the AWP. And Sip, he's got a Molotov, and that is important. He's going to go up on the bomb, so that means he's going to buy a lot of time. He's got an HE grenade as well. We'll follow up with that one. He's now kind of zoned out. The smoke is up. He can't actually see what he's shooting at. They're going to try and go through, and Fallen hits the shot, and that's going to be the retake here. Great round from Luminosity. Oh no! The bomb goes up! Oh no! TSM!
They bungle the smoke. They had that smoke to cancel the molly, but they messed it up, Anders. You saw the Molotov was still on that bomb. They couldn't get on it fast enough.
I thought they just hold it. They would have survived if they... Well, if
he was holding it cold, but the Molotov wasn't canceled. TSM, I mean, Zipnix had it just right, and they messed up the smoke to cancel it.
We need a lot of replays of that. That was too much going on all at one time.
Heart can't take this, Anders.
No, definitely not. It sounded to my ears, though there's a lot of background noise as well, but it sounded like they just would have had time for it. Taco going to be winning the first fight there, but Dupree taking down Taco right afterwards. FNX in the bedroom raiding in. Who's going to be checking it? Sipnix will, but he goes down. Fur taking a fight and coming out on bottom against Dupree. FNX with one more frag, making it a double. This is how brutal. He turns around 180 degrees and drops the bomb carrier, and that's Luminosity making it 17-16.
Oh boy.
This is madness now. We've entered the really sickening heights of Counter-Strike, and this is what you get, ladies and gentlemen. Dupree buying another AWP, which almost empties the TSM bank here. And this is not the final round of the first half of overtime, so they've got to be careful.
He's on it, but he wasn't able to get on it fast enough. Wow, less than a second.
Unreal.
A split second left on that bomb.
I'm wrecked behind that.
Sickening, and well, speak of sickening, FNX and Fallen, the two of them at top banana doing work. And just like that, TSM, they're getting shredded. They're down 2 men at the beginning of the round. Dupree, if ever there was a time to come alive with this AWP, now is it, because the rest of your teammates, they're taking shrapnel to the face, and soon they're gonna be taking some bullets too. They don't check the corner after Cole just wrecks them completely from this corner the round before.
Taco with a brilliant shot there on Carrigan. No hesitation either. Very confident. 1 versus 5 here. He has to, well, I mean, so he should try and save the AWP, but there's a minute left, which makes that a little bit of a ridiculous proposal, especially as Luminosity have so much money they can easily hunt for him here, because the next round will be the last of the half. But Dupree, on the other hand, he doesn't have the money, which is what our great spectators are showing us. By the way, the fact that we even got that replay there, great job on the Black Molly production crew for getting us that replay with the bomb. That's a very important detail. We needed to know how much time was left in. We would have had to count in nanoseconds, I think, to figure out exactly what it was.
Talk about heartbreaking though for Luminosity. It could be 18-15 right now. Well, they could have just won the map, right? For one of these diffuses.
Yeah.
They could have just won and been into the finals. Instead, they're on the hunt.
These small details here.
Yeah, defusing the bomb, stopping, big explosions. Dupree, he finds one. Now, is he going to be able to make it out of here in one piece? If he drops down and actually gets this right, he had the angle right there on the fair.
But they were on the other side of him. There's one crawling through and one by the door, so that would have been a very hard situation to survive. But 18-16 right now. Luminosity winning 3 out of 4 rounds in overtime. And we're going to be down to the last one of the first half of overtime here. Again, 1st to 21 is what we're looking for.
A little bit of a body block there. Fair looks at his teammate, annoyed. Well, let's see. I mean, they could go for the challenge to get top banana. Cajun B looks like he wants to get ready for that. Decides to fall back off of that nade. And instead, it's Fur just straight up peeking in mid. No fear on this man. Device has got an AWP, but he's just not scoped up at the right time. Fur able to get that peek, that info for free.
Looking at the corner still. He's at a bit of an off angle, just a little bit further to left than you'd normally be, which means if somebody jumps out, if someone over peaks, then he would be in a great position for it. These are sort of the small different iterations of how you might defend middle, and it's all based on sort of intuition and maybe a little bit of an idea about how TSM like to play. 4 men stacked up again at A, leaving Fur this time alone, I think. No, Fallen still alone, sorry, with the AWP, and out of grenades as well at about 50 seconds.
Yeah, running low. Still fire superiority here. And well, there's angle here. He's not going to get flashed. He could spot the first man. He gets the second. What is that fadeaway headshot under Dupree? And now Fallen. Zipnix just jumps right into his crosshair. He's sacrificing himself, and it's just not going to pan out here. No way that Fallen misses this shot. Nope. Done. Device. Time for a nap. And Cajun, he's the last man alive. 1v5. And Fallen, he's actually mortal after all, Anders. He can miss shots after all. Still, 19-16.
And there's a reason why people have started typing Fur God everywhere, probably in the chat as well as we speak. This second shot, just what is going on? Boom! Yeah, so that was an attempted B-split through Archway. Something TSM haven't done too much, so I mean, it's good that they're trying it in overtime, but they got wrecked instead. Now, going into the second half of overtime here, another 2 rounds for Luminosity, and they're going to the grand finals. If not, TSM, technically speaking, need to win 5 in a row. These are all the CT side rounds here to go to the grand finals, and anything in between that, and it's double OT, which we haven't had yet.
We haven't, no. We've only had Luminosity actually getting overtimes, haven't we? We've only had Luminosity actually getting overtimes. So, I mean,
Yeah.
They've got the experience in this situation. TSM, of course, do as well. And over on the CT side, full buy, no surprise. They have to go for a TSM and Luminosity. They had success with this in regular time, and there it is. Deep flash in. Device should know exactly what's coming. He's going to get out of there just in time. Burning like a fire there. The Luminosity are just running right through, and they're getting wiped out.
Yeah, that's a bit much, a little bit too much bravery this time, maybe. And look at this rotation coming in as well. Dupree in the back line standing still for a minute, and that's dangerous. Trying to go for it with the pistol. He's out of nowhere. Everybody's flashed. No one can see a damn thing. And at the end of it, it looks like TSM are coming out on top. It's Taco alone in a 1 versus 3, and he's going to go down to Carrigan there. That was a chaotic round.
Yeah, a little bit of a mild performance there, but what can you do? Luminosity, they just decided to go for a brave play, just get in there fast, but Device was able to see it coming from a mile away. He remembered what happened earlier on in regulation when Luminosity, that was one of the plays that they went for. Smoke goes down at bottom car, great. Everybody groups up, chuck a flash in, get in there fast and get control. It's just that Luminosity decided to not show any fear whatsoever and just try to power onto that site. And while TSM taught them otherwise, TSM taught them that you're going to pay for it if you try and go for the brute force tactic like that.
Device once again almost flashed through the Molotov even faster this time. So Luminosity, this time they're actually going to stop on the other side. They learned as well, and that's very good indeed. That was a very fast Molotov.
Yeah, they clearly had that setup. These are adjustments, minor adjustments made by TSM. Dupree waiting there with the Molotov cocked and ready. Device has the follow-up. Yeah, Luminosity learned. And now, well, one thing is, for the price of a flash, Luminosity, look at everything that they got out of TSM. TSM down to 1 smoke at the minute mark, 2 incendiaries.
Yeah, you're not wrong. And they, on the other hand, have plenty.
And when you're not wrong, you're right. So
that's what I meant to say, Selma. Yeah, if they go back to B now, there's nothing left that can really stop them here except for rifles. Smoke comes up. Actually, that's thrown all the way over from Archway. Pretty good job there on the TSM side. Dupree playing very close to the smoke here, which means if they don't sort of put any kind of really good underhand flashbang through, he might have a good chance of shutting them down. Molotov goes back here. That's a big sign that something is coming, and it's Luminosity with 20 seconds left. Full rotation coming in as well here from TSM. Dupree, but they both go down. Device as well, and that's a big problem. Carrigan rotating in with the AWP, but the bomb is being planted.
And does he decide to go YOLO? No. M4 straight up, waits for his mates. He's got a man in CT, 2 of them in fact, and so they will be able to move in here as a unit. TSM, it's not done yet. Last nade chucked out there by Luminosity, and now it's just going to come down to the dirty work. Rifles are going to have to do the trick, and Zipnik starts it off strong, but they line up in CT, and it's going to be the last man pushing in from construction. Carrigan fighting his damnedest, but it's not going to be good enough. 3 players survived the round for Luminosity, and they are up on match point, Anders. This is it on the edge.
20-17, a match and a map point here for Luminosity. Once again, they get close. Now, it's 3 rounds in a row here that TSM need to win to push us into double overtime. And speaking of double, they're going to go for the double AWP play here. See if that's going to work out. Wow. This is... This has left everybody speechless, I can tell.
Just can't look away now. Don't blink. So it might be over. Kerrigan just off on that timing there. Attempted a shot through the smoke in the mid. He's not going to connect. Luminosity using a lot of nades right now, and all of this, guess what, is a fake.
Yeah, and they haven't really been good at stopping the speed push before. Now they have to. Everything rides on this. Device is on the other side with the AWP. Can he get one opening shot? They actually run through the edge. He still gets a shot in Taco, but Dupree has gone down, and that's the only other defense there. Device is dying as well. 3 versus 5 for Rigid. Cole shooting him in the back as well. He's going for the shot. Carrigan almost dying. Cole turning around, dropping Sipnik's TSM. They're done for. It's a 2-on-5 here. And Cajun and Carrigan, what could they possibly do to get back in this game? I have no idea, and I don't think they do either. My God, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna see Luminosity beating Envy, NiP, and TSM to go to the grand finals here at DreamHack Winter.
Show that they had no fear really, at the end. I think that's what the most impressive thing is. Unfortunately, it wasn't happening today, guys. You went through the trouble of painting the flag.
I like the
TSM.
cruel cameraman saying.
I know, really. Like, get a close up on these guys real quick. No, that's horrible. That's horrible. TSM, I mean, the reality is, Anders, that both of these teams fought tooth and nail. We saw the best from TSM, but today it just so happened to be the day for Brazil. They have come through.
This whole tournament, what a run and what a storyline has been. What a heroic team as well.
I'm really looking forward to hearing what the desk have to say about this. But first, we're going to go ahead and throw it over to Paula on the stage to hear from the winners.
Thank you so much, Semler and Anders. Oh my God, you and your team produced 3 of potentially the most shocking upsets, crazy upsets over the last 2 days. What's going through your head right now?
I think it's not upset if you beat 3 best teams in the world on best of 3s, right? It just feels amazing. This game was really, really, really difficult because I had to think so much on T side on what to do. And I think on some calls I couldn't make the difference and understand what they were doing. But they were excellent players. The game was so intense, man.
Talking about that, the point that you just made, it's what I mentioned to you briefly earlier during the competition. Best of 3s. You've been getting criticized, you and your team, about not being able to, conquer the best of 3 format against the best teams. Now 3 on the trot.
Yeah, it means a lot for us, but to be honest, doesn't mean we're gonna win every BO3 later after that. Doesn't mean we're on the right step. Means that we made a good change in the team. FNX and Taco bring a lot of what we're missing on the whole team. So I'm just really happy, and I think this lineup never lost a BO3 yet.
What a change then. Going into a bit more detail, the maps, Mirage, you got off to a terrible start, but then the second map, Overpass, which was actually TSM's pick, you pulled it through. Like that was confusing in itself.
Yeah, exactly. Mirage, we had an idea on what they were going to do, and we prepared ourselves to play this match. But I just felt like my guys weren't on point. Like they weren't focused. I don't know why. I don't know why they took too long to get focused. Like Zipnix was pushing B apartments like for 3 times, and he got FNX every single time. And it's FNX's job to take care of that. So this kind of situations.
Hey dude, what's up? The stream will be live in a little bit. I'm still doing stuff IRL. I'm taking it pretty chill right now, so yeah. No mic or webcam for a little bit. I'm just doing stuff. Doing stuff.